Episode 145. Today we recap the Angels series and preview the upcoming series against the Dodgers. You're listening to the Bucko Banter podcast, brought to you by the Just Baseball Media Network. Cue the music.
Rockin' 101, she compliment my taste. Whiskey in my lemonade, cause I like the way it tastes. Best seats at the Pirates game, they let me run the base. Yeah, my time is like my money, cause I can't afford to waste. Wifey is a lawyer, take my date to my dates. Order steak by the plates, and in case after case, run my race at my pace, clear the grass of the snake.
Welcome back to another episode of Bucko Banner 145, Adam. West Coast trip, we're recording late on a Thursday night. We're actually in the middle of game 3 here, fourth inning. So recording during the game, the NFL draft, all kinds of stuff going on. But what's happening with you, man?
It's been a busy week.
It's always busy.
Dude, I've been dragging with these late night games.
Yeah, you took the reins, especially Tuesday. I fell asleep like 6th, 7th inning. Probably 6th inning, but I passed out. I was like, I can't do it. And we talked about doing shifts for West Coast.
Yeah, it's brutal, man. I can't, I was begging for the night, the first game on Tuesday. It was just dragging, everything, pitch comms were going out, delays in the game, fans are touching players, it was the whole 9 yards. It was all out there, and I don't think the game ended until about 12:30. And it's going to be the same thing probably tonight, man.
Yeah.
And then we got 3 more days of it until the boys are back in Pittsburgh. Before we get into it, Scott, real quick, let's give a shout out to Total Sports Enterprises. Go over to tseshop.com for all of your Pittsburgh memorabilia needs. Pirates, Penguins, Steelers, and much, much more. Right now, Andrew McCutchen signing is happening. You can go do the pre-sale at tseshop.com. Yeah, man, it's been late. I hate the West Coast games.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. I'm not a late night guy. I'm more of an early bird, but some good games though, at least for the most part to start this series. I think we've got some a little bit more offensive firepower heading into this series. So see if that holds on.
Yeah, let's talk firepower, because that's an interesting term to use right now, right? Because Tuesday and Wednesday they collected a ton of hits, right? A ton. How many of those were doubles or more? I'm not trying to be negative right now, but I just want to throw it out there.
Was it 3?
3.
Okay.
I believe it's 3 to 4. So there was game 1 was the Kutch home run.
Right.
And then a Cruz home run the next day. And then I think 2 doubles. So I think total 4. So Greg Brown kind of said it perfectly. Death by paper cut. They've just kind of been chipping away, which, listen, again, I'm not trying to be negative. They're hitting. They're barreling the ball up. They're hitting the ball.
I'll take 18 hits in a game, man. I don't care how
100%, man.
Yeah.
18 hits wins you most games. Probably all of them. If you get 18
Should.
Hits. It absolutely should. Now today, a little bit more firepower. I think that's more of an appropriate word. Cruz in the leadoff spot seems to be a slam dunk.
Agreed.
That it took that long to figure it out where he's going to get the most fastballs in that position. I see you smirking, and I know why. I know why. It makes too much sense. You can put just about anybody that has any major league experience behind him once he's in the one spot, and he's automatically going to have more protection, right?
Yeah. Reynolds,
Kutch, Bart.
I also like him being supported by IKF on the bottom half.
Yeah, it turns over well. Also, Scott, you're a traditionalist. He has 11 stolen bases. He hasn't been caught all year.
He is what you would call a traditional leadoff hitter. Maybe not. You haven't seen many 6'7" leadoff hitters in the past, but he's a center fielder, up the middle player who's still in bags, and he's also hitting for some power. I mean, that's not traditional, but still, he's definitely filling that role for us, and I think it's probably going to stick for the rest of the season, don't you think?
Oh, I think so, and we've mentioned it before how they were trying to experiment with Sawinski earlier in the year in spring training. They tried it out a couple of times, the Kyle Schwarber method, if you will, or the Shohei Ohtani method, where first step out of the game, first pitch, you could go up 1-0. You get that here. You absolutely get that. If any guy on the team, you get it. He's the most likely to put the ball over the fence. So, and then if he just gets on base, he's the most likely to get you over into scoring position. So it's a win-win. I think this also just helps the rest of the lineup. It's perfect.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, man. I couldn't agree more. And I hope they can build off this, especially with some of these moves that have happened recently, which we'll get into. But before we do that, do you want to talk about our announcement today?
Yeah, we mentioned there was 3 big announcements. What, a week ago?
Yeah.
The first one was credentials. Awesome. Super sick. The second one was a third show down on the farm that's going to highlight all of our farm system and minor league players. And announcement number 3, if you haven't seen already, we put it out on all socials. A 4th show is being added to the schedule, but this is a little different, Scott. A little different. This is going to be a live show in person at Allegheny Coffee and Tea in the Strip District. If you don't know about it, 100% get over to Google right now, type in Allegheny Coffee and Tea. It's a staple here in the Strip. For me, I know for you, this is the best coffee shop by far.
In the Strip by far. Yeah. I would venture to say in Pittsburgh, but I'm there like every weekend, if not sometimes during the week as well. I'm always going to Allegheny Coffee. It's one of my stops, especially when I'm going to get breakfast. I go there first, maybe go get a pastry, or I sit down and go to breakfast. Cafe Raymond's right next door. Great place, man. Great place. I love it. It smells really good in there. You got all the different beans, and it's the best coffee in the Strip. I gotta say, I'm really excited to partner with them and have a live show there, because it's also like right in the middle of Penn Ave, like right in the heart of it. And I think we're gonna get a lot of foot traffic and a lot of fans asking questions. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I've been going there since I moved to the Strip a couple of years ago, and the relationship basically started. I wear Pirates stuff all the time. They're Pirates fans. We started talking Buccos. They became Bucco banter fans, and then it was a match made in heaven. I can't remember a time where I've gone in there and I haven't talked about the Pittsburgh Pirates, good or bad. So shout out to Allegheny Coffee and Tea. It's going to happen to start every other Saturday, starting this week, weather permitting, because it's going to be outside of the store. We will be set up. And here's the beauty about this show, Scott. You could be involved. And when I say you, it's you, the listener. You could show up. You could give us your Pirates take. You could debate us on a Pirates issue. You can ask a question and we can answer it. This is your chance to join Bucco Banter. This is your chance to get your 15 seconds of fame, to get your voice out there.
Absolutely. I'm excited to engage with fans, like just off the bat questions. My only thing ask is don't be a jag.
Don't be a jag.
Don't
Rule
be a
number
jag.
1. This is going to be a great show. Go get a coffee, talk Pirates, friendly, positive environment. The questions could be hard hitting. They could be critical. They could be curious, but don't be a jag. I think that's a baseline.
And just before, if you're going to ask a hard hitting question, make sure I'm caffeinated first. I'm going to be highly caffeinated during all these shows, but just if you're going to give me a hard one, wait till I have my double espresso shot. All right.
That your go-to there?
I'm so basic, man. I just like dark
Double
coffee,
espresso.
but I love espresso.
Yeah, the nitro espresso is top tier.
Give it a try.
Give that a shot. Let's get into the roster moves here real quick. There was a ton that happened while they were gone on the West Coast. As you know from the last series, Mesa was announced that he was hurt. He is now on the 60-day IL. No throw for 6 weeks, Scott. So maybe a little bit more serious than expected. Yeah, the lat, which is a big issue with pitchers nowadays. Justin Lawrence didn't look like he was comfortable out there earlier this week. He has right elbow inflammation. He heads to the 15-day IL. Jack Sawinski option. Scott mentioned it last week. Unplayable. And they finally got the hint. You cannot strike out at near 44%. I think that's what we were getting close to. It was like 42.4.
Yeah, it was 42 when we recorded last, but like it's at this point, 300 some major league games, over 1,000 ABs. It's like, how many opportunities are we going to give this guy? Like it's time to give a 27-year-old Matt Gorski a shot.
Right. Mike Burrows promoted. He's back with the big league club. He's expected to pitch out of the pen. And then finally, the propaganda has worked, everybody.
It works.
Matt Gorski debuted this week with the Pirates on Wednesday. We're going to talk about it, but let's just get into it right now. Immediately provided what this team needed. In one of the more impressive at-bats that I've seen all year from just about anybody on this team. Whether it sticks or not, or whether it's just debut magic, who knows? But he battled 0-2 in his first at-bat, 7-pitch at-bat, hit the ball, 434 feet?
Dude, he turned on that ball. It was up in the zone, too. I mean, Tyler Anderson's not going to blow up by you, right? We went over his scouting report, usually like high 80s, touch 90, 91, but fastball up, and he just turned on him, man. It was a beautiful swing.
115 miles per hour, one of the hardest hit balls in all of Major League Baseball. This entire year. His first at bat, man. So whether he sticks up here, I don't know. But if he's able to provide that power in the 6 through 9 spot, that's a win for this team.
And play a first base plus all 3 outfield positions. I think that's a valuable guy. Like he gives you the power that Billy Cook doesn't. At least the raw power, right? Like Gorski's definitely got more raw power, and I think he's pretty good defensively too, from what I've seen. So definitely
today.
Well, yeah.
It's a little bit of jitters.
Bill Buckner, but
it's okay though. It's okay. Let me ask you this before we get into the recaps, because the game's still going on right now. So let's talk a little bit. They're hitting the ball hard. Reynolds is on fire. Cruz is on fire. Kutch is hitting. Joey Bart is barreling the ball. He's hitting the ball hard. Triolo's even been hitting a little bit. That's your boy. Tommy Pham is still not doing well. He hits into too many double plays. He's had some good games here and there. He had an RBI last night, but right now he's pretty much the only guy that really hasn't gone kickstarted this entire series. Okay, I understand he was hitting the ball hard, but I think there's been too much bad at the plate to overlook what he's done well. Right? They got Horowitz coming back probably in a couple weeks. They just added Matt Gorski to the lineup, who could provide some much needed power. Do you have any faith? Like, is this a magic trick? Is this just a smoke screen? Or do you think that this could continue?
Yeah, no, I think there's going to have to be a move made, right? Especially when Horowitz comes back. You've got some guys down in AAA too that are knocking on the door.
Nick Gonzalez could be back, midsummer. Yeah,
exactly. Nick Gonzalez could be back, but also, and I know they're not blowing the doors off right now, but Billy Cook and Nick York are guys that are going to spend time in Pittsburgh one way or another at some point this year, you'd think. So, I think especially with Nick Gonzalez on the horizon, Spencer Horowitz on the horizon, there's definitely going to be moves made, and there's going to be an odd man out here.
Definitely an odd man out. I know I just trashed Tommy Pham a little bit. I don't want to say trash. Like, it is what it is right now. It's very clear to everybody watching that he's struggling at the plate. However, I will give credit where credit is due. We talk about our best defensive outfielder.
I almost didn't believe this today.
He leads the team in defensive runs saved.
I think he leads the National League.
6 defensive runs saved in left field. He's got a 0 run value in left field, which is the best of his career, by the way, in the outfield. And he's still a positive WAR player because of how good he's been in left field. He's never been known as like a fantastic defender. He's been solid,
Yeah.
but he's never been, lights out, nothing drops guy out in the outfield. He does hold value for this team right now. He made some really incredible plays in game 1 of this series. And you talk veteran leadership, getting the guys going, adding some fire. It looks like he's finally starting to mesh a little bit. Might beat a fan up here every once in a while, but
Might wave hello to the fans too.
yeah, a friendly hello. First of all, you must not be a baseball fan if you're reaching out and touching any player is really bad. Definitely frowned upon. Out of all the players in Major League Baseball,
you don't know
Tommy
what
Pham,
smoke you're getting into,
dude. Oh my lord! This is the guy who said he trains in the offseason to fight.
He said some other words, but yeah.
That's the spark notes of it.
I'm prepared to, yeah.
Exactly.
So, yeah, just don't mess with Tommy Pham. Leave the guy alone.
Yeah.
Don't wake the sleeping giant. Don't poke the bear, as they say. Leave him alone. Let him be. Let him hit 148. Let him do his thing in the outfield and go on with your day.
I don't know if you let him hit 140.
You know what? I was saying for a couple of weeks, don't let the Buccos get hot. Don't. I'm going to start saying let
him get hot.
Let him hit 148.
It's fine if he's at the bottom of the lineup and he's providing that defense right now.
Yeah.
Right now, but once you get Gonzalez back and he's healthy, once you get Horowitz back, you're going to play him at first base. He's going to be your best defensive option over there. He's a true first baseman. If Gorski sticks on this roster, he's an outfielder. That gives you a little bit more flexibility if he continues to slug. And I say continue. He had 1 home run, 1 at bat, right? But I'm riding on a high right now, and I think the game's tied. So it's not like they're blowing the doors off of the Angels in Game 3, but a little bit of hope, man. It's nice. It's nice to be positive and go over to the West Coast and kick some ass.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit careful because I feel like there's no consistency right now. Like we see Nationals 3 games out of 4, even though we didn't really hit much that series, and then we go and get swept at home by the Guardians. So a series where we look fine, like things are maybe turning around, and then it just goes right back to the cellar again. And now it's the West Coast. Like playing out on the road is hard enough, but playing across the country, can definitely be a challenge. And against a team that's not bad. I mean, they're not going to win their division, but this is a better Angels team than the couple years past. And they're definitely hitting the ball hard, and there's some positive signs. I'm just hesitant, man. They're going to face a gauntlet this weekend in Hollywood. So
yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. I mean, everything that I'm saying could go down real quick by tomorrow night. Counter. It had the same lineup 2 days in a row.
That I had to double take at my screen. I'm like, am I seeing this right?
So are we learning something? Has the tide turned where all of the criticism about playing the matchups and having too many variations of a 9-man lineup gotten to Shelton where it's like, hey, we're just going to run out there. Kutch said he wants to play every day. This is what we're going to do. He's one of our best hitters. You got to keep the guys that are hitting. Screw it. I don't care about days off anymore or scheduled days off. You're going to go out there and you're going to play. And that seemed to work. Consistency works in baseball, man. It's a game. It's a numbers game.
It absolutely is. It's a long season, man. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And I think consistency is definitely key, unless you don't have much to work with, which has been the case here at points and at a majority of Shelton's tenure. But let's Adam, let's get into some of the game recaps so far to start this series. I'll get us kicked off here, man. Just go into detail. Monday night or Tuesday night, I'm thinking beginning of the week, they had Monday off. Tuesday they won 9-3, and we've kind of gone over these games a little bit at a high level. But Falter started 4 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, no walks, 5 Ks. All right game. Didn't really generate a lot of whiffs. His ERA sits at 5.19. Chase Shugart has been a pleasant surprise. 2 innings pitched, no hits, 3 Ks. 104 ERA. He had 6 whiffs in those 2 innings. He had the most whiffs for the Pirates that game. So he's been pretty solid out of the pen. You love to see it. Bednar has been solid since returning, man. You got, other than that, when he an appearance against Cleveland on Saturday, gave up a couple hits, didn't look like super sharp, but first hold of the season, 1 inning, no hits, 1K. Lawrence, third hold, went 2/3. He had 2 walks, 1K. That's where he looked a little bit shaky. Those 2 walks. Santana finished that up with third of an inning, no hits, 1K. Baraki, 1 inning, 1K. Cruz 2 for 6 with a double. Reynolds 3 for 5 with a 2 RBIs. Kutch 2 for 5 with a home run. His second on the year. Absolute shot to center field. 3 RBIs. IKF went 3 for 4 with a double. Like we said, 18 hits, 7 for 17 with runners in scoring position. A lot of opportunities with runners in scoring position. That was key. 13 left on base, 6 Ks. Great offensive game. One of the best ones they've had so far.
Most hits since June of 2023. And the most singles since May of 2016.
Huge.
Back in 2016, that's the last multi-year free agent deal that they gave out. It's been a minute.
Ivan Nova.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The only other notes I have in this game, I don't know. You might have mentioned it. Falter left with the lower back tightness. Don't know.
I did not mention that. I fell asleep.
That's right. You did fall asleep. Shake my head. He did get removed with lower back tightness. I know there was a lot of moves made today. Gorski, Burrows, Lawrence, Meza. We'll monitor that to see if anything's happened. We haven't heard anything from Noah or Stump regarding Bailey Falter, so maybe he's fine. Other than that, man, yeah, a couple of blunders out in the field, but it was no harm, no foul because of how well they hit.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Let's go to Wednesday here, 3-0 W. Andrew Haney is arguably the best pitcher on this team right now if you're just looking at it from a game-to-game perspective.
He's like Sandy Koufax, Clayton Kershaw, like a mixture of those
Randy
two.
Johnson, yeah.
Randy Johnson, yeah.
6 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned, 9 strikeouts. He struck out the side the first 2 innings. Scott, he hasn't given up a run since the Ellie De La Cruz Grand Slam, which I was at the game. And that would have been most likely an out at PNC Park. He's on one because he was good that game outside of that one blunder.
Well, I think the most impressive thing about his stat line this game, did you see his whiffs?
24. He had 24 whiffs. I'm sorry.
He does not generate whiffs. This is not the type of pitcher he is. So is this a Brett Strahm project? Is this like,
dude, he had 9 whiffs on the 4-seam.
He's not a bat misser.
No, this was an all-around excellent game from the pitching staff. They've been exceptional. The bullpen's been exceptional. The pitching staff's been exceptional. You mentioned David Bednar in game 1. Bednar game 2 had me a little bit more convinced that maybe he is back. 1 inning pitch, 2 Ks. He looked good. Here's where Bednar is successful. He's attacking the top of the zone with that heavy bowling ball fastball that sits around 97 to 99. It has a ton of ride to it, but then he arguably has one of the better curveballs of any major league closer when it's on, because you're trying to get on top of that fastball at the top of the zone, almost impossible to catch up to. And then he could break off a 12-6 curveball for a strike.
Eye level.
It's the most challenging for a hitter, maybe, of anything that you could do. So that had me convinced that, oh, maybe he is back. It wasn't in a crazy high leverage situation. I loved this spot for David Bednar. And then you had Caleb Ferguson continuing to deal 1 inning, and then Dennis Santana 1 inning, 1K. Offense, man. Cruz had his 6th of the year, stolen base, 11th on the year, 2 hits on the day. Everyone in the lineup collected a hit. Bam had an RBI. As a team, 8 Ks, 2 walks, 11 hits, 10 singles, 1 for 6 runners in scoring position, 8 left on base, 2 stolen bases. Just, again, exceptional from the pitching staff. It's been unreal to watch. And that's why it makes it frustrating. This series has given me a little bit more hope, because this is what it could be when a guy goes out there and gives you a quality start and you hit around him. I didn't know you were allowed to do both.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So when I say Heaney's not a bat misser, I meant like historically speaking, he hasn't been, but he right now he's missing more bats than he has in the past, which is good to see. I love to see whatever adjustment he's made is huge. But yeah, Bednar, we definitely need him to step up if we're going to be without Meza and Lawrence here for an extended period of time. And Ferguson and Santana have been rather consistent. So good to see. Good game out of the pen. Good game on the mound overall. Real quick, we're in the middle of the Wednesday game. Kyle Nicholas just came in the 6th inning to spell Carmen Mlodzinski. A little bit nervous. His stuff looks gross. He struck out Logan O'Hoppe to start the inning. But Carmen Mlodzinski, I want to have a quick conversation about him. 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 4 Ks. Gave up a home run to Logan O'Hoppe. CRA sits at 6.95. I don't know what his whiff numbers were. I'll pull up baseball supply while I'm talking here. But he had 7 whiffs. Okay. Wow. Kyle Nicholas already has 3, and he's only faced 1 batter. That's kind of disgusting. So Carmen Mlodzinski, I think the experiment is like, how much longer are we going to do this for? Because we might need more guys in the pen. And I like him in the pen more than I like Mike Burrows in the pen. I think you give Mike Burrows a chance to start here, especially if Falter's out.
Yeah.
You mentioned him leaving the game early. Just want to get your thoughts on that. I want to put that out there. Mlodzinski, they've given him, 5 starts now? It's clearly a problem a second time through an order. Multiple times through an order, it's an issue. I think the stuff is there, and I think you're not using him to his strengths.
I completely agree. The stuff is gross. He has a demonic slider. He could top upper 90s. He could sit around 96, 97. He's, I think, in the 98th percentile in fastball velo in all of Major League Baseball. This is why the Pirates expedited him through the system, not as a starter, because his stuff plays in short stints. That stuff we've seen in the first couple of innings could be unhittable. Imagine him coming in a high leverage situation with that same stuff. That's of tremendous value to this bullpen right now. And we didn't mention it before. Do you know who is throwing live BP to Spencer Horwitz down in Bradenton? Dari Moreta. You have a lot of options that could be coming midsummer, right? But you have an option right now that could fill in for Colin Holderman, that could potentially play in a 9th inning if you wanted it to. I know we really haven't had a go-to guy since Santana's kind of stepped into that role a little bit, but we've seen them use a handful of guys going into that closer by committee. Why not Mlodzinski? Use Burrows. Burrows has starters experience throughout his whole minor league career. He started last year, in the last game of the season? And he looked good. The stuff is good. The changeup is awesome. Let him go out there and do what's comfortable. And I think a big part of why the Pirates have failed up until now this year is because a lot of guys have been playing out of position.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that. I with Mlodzinski, they need to start utilizing his strengths. And that is letting his stuff play up in 1 inning stints, especially in high leverage situations. I think he's got kind of like a dickhead attitude on the mound. And that's a bullpen guy, man. I know he wants to start, but what's going to help this team win? It's going to be him in the back of the bullpen. And hopefully they make that change sooner rather than later. They might need to. They might not have a choice. But that's pretty much the only note I have on this game right now. I mean, Onel Cruz led off with another home run. He might be our hitter of the week again when all is said and done. Matt Gorski, like you said, hit a home run in his first at bat. They've got 6 hits so far through 6.
Only 1K.
Only 1K, which is good to see. Let's hope that they can pull out a series sweep. I think that's going to be huge going to Dodger Stadium this weekend.
Yeah, 100%. Top 7 right now. So maybe by the end of this episode, we'll be able to provide another update. But Scott, let's take a quick break here and then come back with our preview of the Dodgers. Scott, let's talk about this Dodgers series. But before we do, let's give a shout out to Sports Card Junction. We've had an awesome time at PNC Park this year. We've probably handed out thousands, not even kidding, thousands of cards, all courtesy of Sports Card Junction. You could go over to the shop on Perry Highway, 9011 Perry Highway, and find just about everything: baseball, football, basketball, hockey, Pokemon, and more, all for great prices. You can buy singular cards, graded cards, hobby boxes, and much, much more. Go over to Sports Card Junction for all of your hobby needs. Let's talk Dodgers.
Adam, the Pirates head over to North Hollywood, I believe it is. They're going to Dodger Stadium to play the Dodgers. This big, it's David versus Goliath, man. The Dodgers are 16-9, third in the NL West right now. NL West is really good. They've got the Padres and Giants both start off really hot. They have 17 wins each. The Dodgers they've been spending a lot in free agency. That's been the talk of, I feel like, the offseason for the most part. And this pitching staff shows it, man. Friday, the Pirates haven't announced their starting rotation this week. They may push guys back. I would expect it to be Skeens tomorrow. Skeens, Keller, but maybe Falter Sunday if he's healthy. Maybe they start Burrows. Maybe they bring someone up for a start. I'm not sure how that's going to look depending on how healthy guys are. But the Dodgers have their rotation set. Friday, we're going to face Yoshinobu Yamamoto, the $325 million arm from Japan. Last year, in his rookie year, he went 7-2 with 3 ERA and 90 innings, 18 games started, 105 Ks and a 111 whip. This year, to start the year, he's gotten really hot. 3-1, 0.93 ERA, 29 innings, 5 games started, 38 Ks and a .86 whip. He's been unhittable at this point. He throws 6 pitches, a 4-seam, 37% of the time, and a split 30% of the time. Those are his two. That's his bread and butter pitches right there. The 4-seam will sit around 95, 96, while the split is at 90 to 92. He throws a curve, cutter, sinker, slider too. The curve, 18% of the time, healthy mix there around 75 to 78. I mean, big jump in velocity from that fastball to the curveball. Cutter will sit in the low 90s. The sinker and slider, both 5% or lower, will sit at 95 and 86 respectively. His baseball savant page is something to look at, man. It's just red. Just straight red. Elite command and control of a deep pitch mix, as I just mentioned. His fastball sits in the mid-90s with excellent riding life up in the zone. Plays up due to his elite extension and deceptive release. Has touched 99 in stints. Maintains velocity deep into outings. His split finger is his signature secondary pitch. High whiff rate and elite depth. Falls off the table with excellent arm speed, deception, and generates ground balls and swing and miss with that pitch as well.
You just mentioned Japanese phenom. And we got another guy who was
the
talk of the offseason this year. Just Baseball's number 2 prospect. Major League Baseball's number 1 prospect. This is the guy that everybody was talking about this offseason, and that is Roki Sasaki. 2025 this year, 0-1, 3.2 ERA in 20 1/3 innings pitched, 4 games, 10 Ks, 1.48 whip. Hasn't gotten off to the hottest start, but he's also limited with some, shoulder issues?
Yeah, they're limiting his innings, I think. They're watching his innings.
Right. So here's the arsenal. 4-seam goes to it 53% of the time, sits around 96 and 0.5 miles per hour, split 31% of the time, which is absolutely disgusting when it is working, around 85 miles per hour, and then the slider 17% of the time. So pretty good healthy use of the secondaries here. Known for the high velocity with the fastball and the nasty splitter combo. Continued development of the breaking ball has been key for him to ultimately unleash the repertoire here, but he generates a ton of whiffs, a lot of soft contact off the splitter in the bottom of the zone. So interesting what they'll see and what pitcher they'll get out of Roki Sasaki on Saturday.
Sunday, familiar face Tyler Glasnow is slated to start for the Dodgers. Last year, 9-6, 3.49 ERA and 134 innings pitched, 22 games started, 168 Ks and a .95 whip. Can really rack up the strikeouts when healthy. That's the big thing. Can he stay healthy? 1-0, 371 ERA to start the year in 17 innings pitched, 4 games started, 23 Ks and a 118 whip. Tyler Glasnow's pitch mix includes a 4-seam curve slider sinker. 4-seam he throws about 50% of the time, while his curve he throws 22. Slider at 19. He changes the shape of his breaking balls there. He throws a sinker 10% of the time. We'll sit around 94 to 96 with the fastball and sinker. The curve will sit low 80s, while the slider will be high 80s. So he can throw that harder. High 3/4 arm slot with a clean, repeatable delivery. Uses his height to generate elite extension, creating a challenging release point for hitters. He's coming downhill as a big guy. He's like 6'6", 6'7". His fastball features premier velocity with elite ride, generates a high whiff rate and pop-up rates up in the zone, and he's difficult to square up due to the extension and perceived velocity. Very, very similar report to Yamamoto here. They definitely like the fastball up in the zone with ride. They like the extension, deception. Dodgers have a type for sure. The curve is a high-spin pitch with 12-6 break. We've seen that pitch. We know about it. He was a top prospect in our system. Generates a lot of weak contact, and then the slider is tighter with sweeping action. A true wipeout pitch versus right-handed hitters, and it tunnels well with his fastball. This is gonna be a tough weekend, man. A very, very tough weekend against 3 really good arms. Let's hope the bats stay hot.
Yeah, gotta stay hot. This is a solid way to cool off.
Yeah.
To be honest, you gotta stay hot. I don't know what the result of this game is going to be. It doesn't look like we're going to get to it because it's still the top of the seventh, 3-3. Pirates got 2 on. Reynolds up right now. Whatever happens here, they at least got 2. They won the series. Stay in LA against one of the best teams in baseball, if not the best team in baseball. So we'll see what happens, man. Just got to stay positive, right? The bats are going, so let's keep going.
That's the plan, man. The season's not over, contrary to popular belief.
Ooh.
The season's not over. And we're going to keep rolling. They're coming back home next week. The Steelers drafted Derek Harmon. All is well in Pittsburgh. We're going to be live in the Strip District.
Yeah, let's talk about that first. Again, if you're in the Strip, if you live in the Strip, you shop in the Strip, whatever you do in the Strip District, come say hi on Saturday outside of Allegheny Coffee and Tea. Go get a coffee and then come talk Bucks with us. It's our first episode out there. We'll be working through some kinks, trying to see how this works best. But overall, we just want to have fun with it. We want to get to know everybody out there, get some new fans of the show, some people that have already been listening to the show. And let's talk Pirates baseball. All right.
Let's do it, man.
And until then, let's raise it.
Raise it.
Best seats at the Pirates game, they let me run the base. Yeah, my time is like my money, cause I can't afford to waste. Wifey is a lawyer, take my date to my dates, or the steak by the plates. And